All right, Shalom. Let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and those of great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. All right, I'm a warrior from Central Valley, Modesto, California, Israelite camp. All right, hopefully this will be edifying. I'm in transit. Hopefully my voice is coming through clear. And just gonna, you know, speak a little bit in the spirit. Hopefully it's edifying. The Most High's name is Yahweh. All right. His son's name, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, is Yahweh Shai. All right. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're the Israelites according to the Bible. All right. Who have been scattered among all nations. All right. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is able to call, his people out of these nations. Believe me, I know that to be a fact. All right, because if your spirit is the spirit of an Israelite, all right, as it says in the scriptures, um, uh, the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit, all right, that we are the people of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. You know, if they do naturally those things, the Gentiles do naturally those things that pertain unto the law, that they are a law unto themselves, right? So what I'm touching on right here is the name of Yahweh, the name Yahweh Shai. All right, these things are given to us by faith. The Lord has to give you faith. You can read Ephesians, the second chapter. It goes all in about how faith is a gift. These different things that you receive in the ministry are gifts, whether it be faith, prophecy, you know, uh, healing, so on and so forth, different offices, prophecy being the highest office. As it says in the scriptures, the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. All right, so being able to see the vision, being able to have the understanding, and see the time that we're in. As it says in the scriptures, measures out the time diligently. You can read about these things in 2nd Ezra 9. That's why it's important to read, so that you can have the understanding. You can receive the understanding. You're going to receive it through reading and these things being broken down to you. But it starts with having faith. It starts with believing on those names and believing that this is the truth. Because if you don't believe in those names, if you don't believe in Yahweh Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, then you're not going to believe that this is the truth. All right. And you're not going to read the scripture. You're not going to be able to read the scriptures with understanding because you're not going to believe that the men of understanding are who they are, the prophets. That's why very few people are going to be delivered. That's why a lot of Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and those that are scattered throughout the world, that's why many of them are not going to be saved because not all men have faith. Faith was not given to everybody. All right, your eyes have to be open to this, and then and then it goes even further because your eyes being open to it, you can know that you're an Israelite and still be going off, man. Still not have the full understanding. All right, still be subject to sin. You could still be stuck in the world, stuck in your ways, so on and so forth. You could be taking heed to false doctrine, calling on a false name. There's so many different things, so much confusion here in Babylon, man. There's so much confusion even within Israel, because you got Israelites that are trying to teach that the mark of, certain things about the mark of the beast, that it's not a microchip, when clearly it's a microchip. Clearly, you know this artificial intelligence that they got. Elon Musk talking about how he wants to merge, people's consciousness with fucking AI. All these, this technology is obviously, you know, has a major role in the image of the beast. The mark of the beast is this RFID microchip technology, you know. Um, so and then you have other things, the whole Israelite foreigner thing, and there's a lot of confusion, man. There's a lot of things that have to be sifted through, because it says in the scriptures that the elect, are being sifted in a sieve, but not the least grain will fall through, So those that are caught, in the net of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, your faith is opened up to the truth. Your understanding is opened up to this truth. All right. So it tells you in the scriptures that everyone that call on the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai will be saved. All right. And you got people out there that don't believe that those are the names. But somebody has to have the names. It tells you that the Lord will restore unto us a pure language in the last days, man. That the Lord will reveal himself to us in the last days. That you will have prophets standing in their lot in the last days. That your eyes, shall behold your teachers. That we wouldn't be I believe it says something to the effect of like being cast into a corner or being backed into a corner, but your eyes shall see your teachers. All right. It tells you that Israel would be lifted up, and that we would be saved. It tells you right there. Everyone that call on the name of the Lord will be saved. So the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, the name of the Lord has to be in the earth. Somebody has to have the true names in the earth. All right. If that's the way to be saved, if it tells you in Acts, there was no other name that you could call upon for salvation. So anybody talking about that we don't have the names or you can call on any name, that's not biblical. That is not in the scriptures. That is not according to wisdom. All right? Because the scriptures clearly tell you, man. And that's why I got Proverbs pulled up right here. All right? Because the scriptures clearly tell you this. Proverbs 30:4. Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Which shows you right there, if thou canst tell means that not everybody's going to be able to tell. Not everybody's going to be able to see it and understand it. All right? That's why it says in the scriptures, blessed are your eyes for they see. This thing, you got to take it serious. You got to cherish it. You got to love it. You got to believe in it. You got to hold it dear to your heart. You have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold it into a very high regard, a very high standard. If you believe in the Lord, man, and you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and this truth and who the prophets really are, which hopefully I gave double honors to the elders and the apostles. That was a great millstone because those are our teachers. Those are my teachers. That's who I learned this truth from. So that's why we give those double honors and that respect to, is because they're the ones that are, holding on, shining that light, holding the torch, man. All right. Let me see. Where's that? Yep, Acts 2 and 21. Let me see. Acts 2 and 17, and it shall come to pass in the last days, say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. All right, that's what you have happening. This is the last days. All right, the Lord is pouring his spirit, all right, into particular vessels that are able to understand this and preach it, all right, and teach it and spread this word. It says, and I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. All right. And that's the point right there. Whosoever shall call upon the name, but you have to call, you got to be right with the Lord, man. You got to call upon those names in truth and in sincerity. Ultimately, we have to be part of the elect. We have to hope and pray we're part of the elect. The scriptures tell you to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right. You got to keep yourself, because, hey, man, the Lord can literally get you out. The Lord can get you out, so you have to take it seriously, and you have to really examine yourself and do whatever it is that you got to do, all right, to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to be in that in the good graces, all right, to receive that mercy. You got to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in faith, all right, and faith, truth, sincerity, with your whole heart, man, believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It tells you in the scriptures, if you repent and you turn to him with your whole heart, man, all right, your whole mind, then will the Lord turn unto you and be gracious to you, man. It says see what he will do with you. Who knows if he will accept you or not, So, those names, somebody got to have those names, man. Somebody got to have the truth. All right. Somebody got to be of the elect. Somebody got to be saved. All right. Because this place is, this place is going to be destroyed soon. All right. This world is passing away, So, hey, man, if you want to call on whatever you want to call on, that's up to you. But hey, man, we're going to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakwadash. All right. Those are the names, man. That's what we're pushing. That's what we're telling you. Those are the names. That's who you need to call upon for help. Whatever your problems are, whatever you're dealing with, all right, whatever it is you're going through, struggling with, all right, whatever it is, man, those are the names to call upon for help. Those are the names to seek for help, for mercy, for guidance, for salvation. So hopefully it's edifying to somebody, some elect, an elect individual out there, or individuals. Hopefully it's edifying. I'll give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem HaKakwadash, double honor to the apostles, and that was a great millstone. Shalom, so hopefully elect.